Thank
Thank you. Good afternoon. This is Judge Alyssa Perez presiding over the 210th District Court criminal docket for October 15, 2024. All matters being heard today are being heard in accordance with all directives regarding remote proceedings. In addition to that, we are streaming all matters live via YouTube for public viewing. Would you call our first case, please?
Calling cause number 2024-0D05153, State of Texas versus Manuela Chamoro. Announcements, please.
William Dixon appearing on behalf of the state of Texas. Ready, Your Honor.
Mayor Jakely for Ms. Chamorro, also ready.
And for purposes of the record, Ms. Chamorro is appearing remotely from the jail annex. We're scheduled for a bond hearing, Ms. Jakely. I show her being at a $20,000 split bond, $19,000 cash surety, $1,000 PR. The standard JMAG conditions, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. While Ms. Chamorro is a Mexican citizen, she has resided in in America, I'm sorry, for several years, most recently in Tennessee. However, she does currently live in El Paso with her wife. Her wife is currently ill and is not able to work. So Ms. Chamorro is the sole breadwinner of the household. And as a result, she cannot afford the current $19,000 cash bond. Her sister, who lives in California, is willing to help contribute to her bond, but she can only put up $500. So at this time, we are requesting a $5,000 bond so that Ms. Chamorro can get out, work, provide for her family. And in doing so, she would be willing to go on the device, either portable or interlock device.
Where does she work, Ms. Jakely?
Well, currently she can't or isn't working, but if she were to go back to work, Ms. Chamorro, I'm sorry, may I ask her? I actually don't know.
Yes,
Where would you work if you were able to get out to work?
I would have to start a job search because I had came from Tennessee a week prior to me getting arrested.
Okay. Anything else?
No, Your Honor, that is.
Thank you, Mr. Dixon.
Your Honor, as for criminal history, I'm showing that here in El Paso, she was convicted of a DWI with a BAC greater than 0.15 in 2018. And again, in 2019, she was again convicted of a DWI with a blood alcohol content greater than 0.15. And I'm also showing that she was arrested for DWI in California in 2016. I don't show a disposition on the rap sheet for that. So this could possibly be her fourth DWI, and her blood alcohol content in this case is a 0.228, close to 3 times the legal limit. And from what I heard from defense counsel, this defendant does not have close ties to the community and is a Mexican citizen and could very easily flee across the border.
Is there a detainer?
No, I don't see an ICE hold on it.
Okay. Anything else, Ms. Jakely?
She does protect the community. Her wife does live here and is not even able to travel, so she would be staying here for sure to stay with her wife, and would stay throughout the end of this case. She doesn't have a history of fleeing in any of her previous cases, so I don't think that is an actual fear for the court to have.
So, Mr. Dixon, did you have anything else?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. So I am inclined to grant the request insofar as I will divvy up the split differently. So I will grant the request and split the bond 5,000. So it'll be a $20,000 split bond, 5,000 cash surety, $15,000 PR. But here's the thing, Ms. Chamorro, your attorney, although there's from the public defender's office have been here on these, I don't know if Ms. Jakely knows that when you're on a DWI third, so I'm not going to follow the JMAG conditions. I will require that she obtain a portable monitoring unit. She has to obtain that within 7 days of her release. Okay. And she will test 4 times a day on the portable unit. I don't allow DWI third to drive. Okay, so she is not allowed to operate a motor vehicle. If she does have a valid driver's license and has a need to drive, then we need to come back and review the bond conditions, Ms. Jakely, okay? So she's not going to be allowed to drive. She has to have the unit. She's going to report once a month to the PR bond office. No alcohol, no illegal drugs, subject to testing. She's not working, so she can have a curfew from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Commit no new offenses. She may not change her place of residence without court permission. She may not leave El Paso County without court permission. Anything else? Any other conditions, Mr. Dixon?
I think that covers it, Your Honor.
Alrighty, that's the order. Thank you very much.
Thank you. May I be excused?
You may have a good day.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Mr. Nunez, who's next?
Let me see who downtown has, Judge. Downtown, who do you have?
Right, we're ready on Landin Javier.
I'm gonna need Mr. Walker first, if you can get that.
Well, Actually,
No,
Mr.
okay, ya
Rosales is
está.
here. Mr. Rosales is here. We can do, unless do we need?
I'm here on Landin.
I'm sorry, that was my mistake. I didn't know, I thought he was Mr. Nunez's. My mistake. We can do it page 15, Judge.
Okay, let's go ahead and call that one, please.
Calling cause numbers 2024-0D0-4728, 2024-0D0-0575, and 2024-0D0-5775. State of Texas versus Javier Landin. Could I get announcements, please?
William Dixon on behalf of the state of Texas, ready, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Mark Rosales on behalf of Mr. Landin. We are also ready.
Purposes of the record, Mr. Landin is appearing remotely from the downtown jail. I believe the cause number 5775 is set for both arraignment and bond hearing. 4728 is a bond hearing. Mr. Rosales, I show the total bonds at 135,000.
I don't know why they're so high. That's extremely high. And then well, I'm sorry, Judge. I didn't mean to interrupt.
4728 is a PR revel, so that's why he's at 100,000. On the 5775, I believe J-Mag gave him a $10,000 bond there, but there must be some additional bonds because they're showing total bonds of 135. In any event, you may proceed.
Well, Judge, we had a hearing on the 4728. We were in court. We realized that there was the outstanding 5775 case, and you pulled the bond on that case, being that there was a new case. So that's a PR revocation case. Nonetheless, me and my client has been coming to court. He's showing up to court, and he's not attempted to run in any way. He is a lifelong resident of El Paso. This is an incident. The original case, the 4728, is an incident arguing over a vehicle and who's going to take the vehicle with a significant other. And then the 5775 case is a pushing and shoving match with adult stepsons of a significant other. So I don't believe there's any serious bodily injury. I don't believe there's any medical records that I'm aware of in either of these cases. I'm trying to pull up Mr. Landin's history, but I'm sure the prosecutor can help me out with that in just a minute. I don't have that. It's not my Odyssey is not opening, but he does have, I know, some prior criminal cases that you would need to look at, but he's certainly not a flight risk, and if allowed to be released, he would not reside with the complaining witness. And lastly, the complaining witness, at least of the first case, has reached out to this office to sign a non-prosecution statement. I don't believe Mr. Landin, given the amount of time he has been incarcerated, has much resources to post any kind of significant bond. I do have communication with his brother. Let me see here. I've lost that note here. Let me get back to that page. I have a phone number for his brother. They can probably post a few $100s, maybe a few $1,000 max. But the problem too on such a high bond, of course, as you know, Your Honor, would be the collateral to support that kind of bond. So that's all I have.
And I'm sorry, how long has he been in El Paso?
I have many years. Mr. Landin, how long have you lived here?
My whole life, sir.
That's what I thought. I didn't want him to speak though. Whole life, Judge. I was about to say that, but then I wasn't sure, so I better be safe than sorry.
The reason I ask is because I have a 45-page rap sheet that includes quite a bit from Arizona. So if he's lived here his whole life, then between 2004 and let me see. Let me see if this is still Arizona. 2004, Nevada, 2018.
Mm.
I have an extensive history here in a lot of places. So
I haven't seen any of that, Your Honor. Everything that I see on my end is all El Paso or Horizon. There's a bunch of little misdemeanors dating back to 2010. That's what I see, but I don't see anything on.
So 2004, I have Phoenix, domestic violence, violation of probation, criminal damage, defacing, domestic violence again in 2005, Maricopa County, child, adult physical abuse, felony, assault, reckless, assault, intent, reckless, 2006, 2007 in Phoenix, assault, failure to appear, violation of promise to appear, driving with a suspended license, failure to appear in 2007, Phoenix, Maricopa, assault, violation of promise to appear. So was your client in Phoenix in Arizona at that time?
Judge, I really don't want to speak to that, and I don't really want to ask him any questions right now that might implicate him. I don't have any of that information in front of me, other than my rap sheet goes back to 2010. That's all I have. So
If I could also add, though, it must have happened because he has a felony AFV in 2015. And when I'm showing that his 2011 assault was just a regular assault, and he went to prison for 2 counts of felony assault, family violence in 2015 for 6 years, as well as aggravated assault with a family violence with a weapon. There were 2 counts of that, and a felon in possession. And then another assault, family violence with prior in 2017. All 3 of those cases, one was 2015, one was 2016, one was 2017. He went to prison concurrently on those cases for 6 years. So
In my PSR criminal history, his criminal history in Arizona ends in 2009. That's 9 pages. And then we move to Nevada. And in 2011, I get a battery, domestic violence. I get child abuse, battery, domestic violence, torture, injure, abandon, starve animals. Child abuse then in,
What if she fought?
in 2012. Let me see if I get to the end of Nevada. That's about 4 pages. And then I get into some of the history, some juvenile history, 2001, and then all of the El Paso is the remaining 14 to 45 pages of a rap sheet. Mr. Rosales, what else do you have?
that's all I have, Judge.
Mr. Dixon?
Well, you've gone through the criminal history quite well. I'm also showing in 2024 0D05775 that one of the victims who was punched in the eye was a 15-year-old. And the other adult who tried to break it up, he was punched in the back of the head twice. Those are the allegations of 2024 0D05775. And then the one ending in 4728, it's alleged that he grabbed his significant other by the hair and he slapped her and he threw a brick at the windshield. And with that, my major concern is the history of violence and committing more violent acts while he's out on bond, Your Honor.
Mr. Rosales?
I'm not tracking the age of the child, just so if I misspoke as to that age, I'm looking at the indictment and one part of it. So I didn't track that, and so if I misspoke, I apologize for that. But I just do go back to the original premise, which was the assault, although I understand you're looking into his prior history, but I do believe the police were called on the 4728 case before anything happened. And what essentially happened was an argument over a vehicle. And then on this 5775 case, I mean, I'm sure you can read the complaint affidavit, Your Honor, I have no objection to that. But you can see that this is kind of an pushing, shoving match in a residence between the stepkids and my client. So I don't think there's really any serious offense like an aggravated assault is what I'm getting at.
Can I ask, why am I showing, he's showing in Odyssey is still having a warrant. What active warrant does he have?
Are you asking me, Judge?
No, Miss Rubio, are you still here? Did I lose you?
I see a warrant for the case ending in 4728, but I don't know why it's still active if he's in custody.
Right.
Let me ask the jail.
Yeah, that's strange. That's what I'm seeing here too, is that the active warrant is on the 4728, and I'm presumably he is booked on it because I see it on the jailing. No. The request to reduce bond is denied due to the extensive criminal history, non-compliance with prior conditions of bond, probation, otherwise, threat to the community. Not sure about the ties. So that request is respectfully denied.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
You may. Thank you. Thank you, downtown. You can go to the next one. Who do you have next?
We're gonna have Walker. I just need to move on to the following floor.
No worries. We'll go back to the to the annex. All right. Who's next at the annex?
Page 15, Judge, for Liliana Harris.
Okay.
Annex, can we get Liliana Harris?
Yes, she's here right now.
Thank you. Hi, Mr. Avalar.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thanks. All right. Calling cause number 2022-0D05389, State of Texas versus Liliana Harris. May I have announcements, please?
William Dixon appearing on behalf of the state of Texas. Ready, Your Honor.
And Daniel Avalar for Liliana Harris, Your Honor. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. And Ms. Harris is appearing remotely from the jail annex. We are set for a probation status hearing. Did we have a new case on Ms. Harris?
Did you what now, Judge?
We do. We have a new case on Ms. Harris. It's
We do, Your Honor. She just got indicted and arraigned a few days ago, Judge, or maybe you're lacking the waiver, but she nonetheless had an arraignment this past week, so I am now sifting through that evidence, Judge.
Okay. Is that the only case we have coming up, Mr. Dixon?
I'm just going through the notes. Give me court's brief indulgence. I was looking through what the probation officer sent.
Sure. So basically, in terms of the probation case, we're going to carry this with along with her new case 2024-0D05463. It's actually not set for judges conference until January 30th. So
I thought I saw a November setting in there, Judge. Does it November 11th sound right to you, Your Honor? Or
I'm
maybe
looking at the settings in Odyssey. There's nothing there. We go from arraignment to judges conference, although the probation case may be set. Let me look at that. Nope. We got our motion to revoke filed on the 10th. The probation case is tracking the
Yeah,
new.
I'm not seeing anything else other other than those the attempt to commit tampering and the PG1 over 4 under 200.
Okay. So for my purposes, I did see her history. Yeah, I'm not so sure we're staying on probation, but obviously you got a job to do, Mr. Avalar, so I'll let you do that. Do you have a rec by any chance, Mr. Dixon?
I don't believe there is at this moment. There is not at this moment, Your Honor.
I think she only has that probation case, no, Your Honor. I mean, apart from this new one.
Yeah, apart from the new one, I don't think Ada's done a rec on both yet.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll see you, if not at the judges conference, see you sooner than that. Otherwise, I'm good to go.
Okay, Your Honor. I'll file my appropriate motions and et cetera.
Sounds good. Thank you very much.
I'll see you soon.
Who's next?
Page 16, Judge, for Jesus Silva, Mr. Mesa.
Good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon, Judge.
How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
Silvas. Uh-huh. Silvas. Silvas. You want to take them? Yeah. Come on, please. Thank you.
Is that Mr. Silvas?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Calling cause numbers 2020-0D04211, 2021-0D00055, 2022-0D00195, and 2022-0D00875. Each case styled the State of Texas versus Jesus Miguel Silvas. May I have announcements, please?
William Dixon appearing on behalf of the state of Texas, ready, Your Honor.
Eric Mays on behalf of the defense, Judge, also ready.
And Mr. Silvas is appearing remotely from the jail annex. We are set for bond hearings in each of these cases. You may proceed, Mr. Mesa.
Thank you, Your Honor. If you recall, we were before you previously, Mr. Silvas is on probation for 4 cases in your court, and then he was violated for picking up a misdemeanor. If you recall, it was at a Walmart, and they accused him of, I think, walking out with some candies. And so then there was the resisting, and that stemmed out of it. Those were dismissed, Judge. So now we are before you only on the probation cases. It's my understanding that they're add up 10,000, 25,000, 20,000. Mr. Silvas is born and raised in El Paso. He's not going anywhere, Judge. He, with these cases dismissed, is hoping that we can get these reduced, or even consider allowing him back on probation to continue. That is what he ultimately does want, Judge. Again, these were misdemeanors. Other than that, I don't know of any violations, but the probation department can help us out on that. But that is what we are asking for, Your Honor.
All right. Well, Ms. Carla, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Just so everyone's aware that this is Eric, your client. I don't know who pled him guilty, but he pled guilty to evading arrest or detention on September 20th of 2024. That case number is 2024-0C as in Charlie 04899. He pled guilty less than a month ago on that case.
4899?
Yes.
I thought I had a dismissal for that one.
No, it shows in portal that he pled guilty. And he was convicted.
Oh, 4889 is the dismissal. Do you have that?
I might have that one, but I'm showing that he did plead guilty on an evading arrest, and that's the one that ends in 4899.
Okay, there's a 4. My eyes are a little strained. We were picking a jury today.
The cause numbers are tricky.
Yeah, my eyes are kind of burning on their own, but I think I see a 4889 and a 4899. One was dismissed.
One was dismissed, but there's a judgment and sentence on that evading that ends in 4899.
My eyes feel the way Rick Huffman looks, so that he just popped on the screen. That's all love, Judge. That's all love. He looked a little. Look at that, Judge. Look, he knows it's love. But that's where we're coming from, Your Honor.
Okay. So, but here's the thing. He's picking up new cases while he's on probation. So, but we're at a bond hearing. So are you done on the bond?
Yeah, Judge. And I mean, I was trying to emphasize that I think I told you last time, these cases, I mean, I'm not saying it's not silly because he's on probation and he understands the gravity of that. He was in the Walmart. He walked out. they scared him. He walked out with a bag of candies, and then that's where the resistance came from. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I know he shouldn't pick up any cases on probation, but I really don't think this alone is something that should get him revoked. And we are asking for the court's consideration, but I'm sure Ms. Pineda can chime in with how he was doing on probation, because I'm not sure about that, Judge.
All right, Ms. Pineda?
Yes, so just the continued non-compliance from Mr. Silva's behalf has been the failure to attend and complete anger management. That was ordered since he was placed on the July 13, 2021 probation cases, the initial probation cases. And he has not completed or enrolled in the anger management. Community service is still pending. Besides this current rearrest, just to remind the court that there was a previous motion to adjudicate filed back in 2022, which was dismissed, which allowed Mr. Silvas to continue on probation on the current 2022 case numbers. But other than that, he still has time on probation. He has on the 2020 and 2021 cause numbers, he still has through July of 2026. And on the 2022 cause numbers, he still has probation through March of 2028.
So was the first motion to adjudicate due to rearrest?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
And he does have a history before this. He had an AFV in 2014. He had a drug case in 2014, a Class B theft in 2013, and crim trespass in 2013. And he's been convicted of another misdemeanor while he's on probation now. This is not someone who I would recommend to continue on probation, Your Honor. But obviously it ends up with you. It's very simple. We have a thumbprint of a case where he just pled guilty less than a month ago. So it's all up to what you want to do.
Yeah, I'm not, here, Mr. Mesa, what else do you have on the bond?
That's it, Judge. Just that as far as resources, he doesn't have them. I don't have anything from employment. I know he was bouncing around trying to find something consistent. He does have a local address, but he really does just want to get back out on probation and see if he can do that.
What, commit new offenses?
No, Your Honor, to complete his probation.
Yeah, he's not learning anything on probation. And so I am showing that he does have bonds for all of his cases. I'm not misreading that. Is that right?
That's correct, Judge. I have 10,000 on 2020, 25,000 cash surety on the 2021, and then it kind of keeps going like that.
So the request is denied. I do see 25,000, 20,000, 25, and 10. The request is denied. The court is not inclined to keep Mr. Silvas on probation. He's got some state jail felony cases. And let's see. No, he's only got one state jail, and then the rest are there. Has he been to prison before?
I don't see that he has, Your Honor.
No, Judge.
Can I speak?
Yeah, I'm not there, Mr. Mesa. So the bond request is denied. Do we have future hearings?
The state's recommendation is 5 on 5 TDC on the felonies and 12 months on the state jail.
All right. All of these need to be, Myrna, if they don't have status hearings, we need to do a probation status hearing in 30 days. We'll go from there. We'll have to come up with a number. I'm not sure I'm at 5 TDC. What was I saw some restitution outstanding. What on the ag assault, Mr. Dixon? What are we talking about there? No, but see, ag assault, assault family violence, assaulting a public servant. Actually, 5 doesn't sound bad. So we'll see you in 30 days.
Your Honor, can I speak? Can I say something?
Look, Mr. Silvas, your attorney is here. The state of Texas is also here. So, Mr. Mesa, I don't know if you have any advice for your client.
I mean, I'd like to talk to you first about it.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. And then we'll see you in 30 days, Judge.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All right. Who's next? Is that Mr. Walker?
Yes, Judge, it is. He's here. He's ready.
Okay, Mr. Walker, that is Ms. Nava.
Page 17, Judge.
All righty. Thank you for your patience, Ms. Nava. Calling cause number 2024-0D01664, State of Texas versus Brandon Devontae Walker. May I have announcements, please?
William Dixon appearing on behalf of the state of Texas, ready on.
Alyssa Nava on behalf of Mr. Walker, Your Honor, ready to proceed.
And Mr. Walker is appearing remotely from the downtown jail. Again, we are set for a bond hearing. Ms. Nava, you may proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. So previously, well, let me take it back a second. So Mr. Walker is a United States citizen. He was a Marine and was also part of the United States Army. He was honorably discharged from the Marines and generally discharged from the U.S. Army. Prior to picking up another offense, he was accepted into Veterans Court and was being offered 5 years deferred probation. I have reached out to Penny Hamilton to see if we can still get the benefits of the Veterans Court, as I think that he needs them. I think the concern for the state and most likely this court is going to be the fact that he did pick up another offense involving a firearm. Him and his wife did purge their apartment and purge their home of any and all firearms. At this time, he would not be able to afford much. If anything, his wife could potentially afford about $300. That's how much she could put forth. He has lived here for 5 years. His wife is from here. They have been married for about 4, going on 5 now. He does have the support of his wife, and we are hoping that we can still get him into Veterans Court and so he can get the treatment that I think that he needs. He suffers from very severe PTSD. He's willing to abide by all conditions. He's not a flight risk. He's been to every single court hearing. He's very cooperative with me. He's always responsive. We're asking for this court to either put him back on PR bond or for a very low cash surety bond, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Dixon.
In regards to criminal history, Your Honor, I show on the rap sheet that he had a non-judicial action for marijuana, and he was barred from reapplying to the military. And then he has 2 pending terroristic threats where he's threatened to hurt other people that are pending. That's 2023 0C10077 and 2023 0C as in Charlie 10071. And then he had the discharge. He's committed this discharge in a firearm in a city after he had threatened to shoot somebody with a gun, in this case 1664. He's clearly a danger to somebody right now, Your Honor, especially when he's shot a gun and now he's pointed a gun at someone, and he pushed the complaining witness over a car sale and then pointed a gun at him, threatening to kill him. So Ms. Nava is going to have to work with Penny Hamilton, because I don't think she finds it's good to offer for me due to this subsequent case. But that I'll leave it to your discretion with that, Your Honor.
Ms. Nava, I mean, you are correct. I recall when I signed the capias on his, when he picked up the discharge, and that is the concern, obviously. I had not, but I have now seen some of that history, and there's more than one terroristic threat. Has he been screened? I mean, is it basically in Judge Hamilton's hands right now, or are we still pending some type of review? I mean, like, hope through Veterans?
So he had been accepted into Veterans Court already, and we were ready to accept the recommendation. However, this new offense came about.
Okay, so no update since then. Let me ask, I was trying, oh, here it is. Give me 1 second. I do see a 1622 where there was no indication of a mental health history. Is he receiving any treatment?
So as of right now, I don't believe so, Your Honor. He does suffer though from, he has been diagnosed with severe PTSD, and he is 100% disabled.
I mean, is he supposed to be on meds, and while he's in jail, he's not? That's my concern.
Mr. Walker, are you taking any medication?
I have been prescribed medications, but I haven't been taking them while I'm in jail.
Would you be able to get back on them if and when released?
Yes,
Okay, and you would comply with your medication?
yes.
Yeah. Anything else on the bond?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
Yeah, due to the nature and circumstances of the new offense and the prior history, the court is going to deny the request to reduce bond at this time. I understand that what you're saying, Ms. Nava, there probably is a real mental health concern here, so I think we need to expedite some type of plan. Certainly, if he's not receiving treatment while he's in the jail, that's a concern as well. But I can't with any real comfort or assurance say that, you know, we're going to put him out on a bond when we don't have that addressed at this time. We're not coming back until December. Okay, we don't have another setting until December. So if we have some type of, is there a rec, Mr. Dixon?
Well, I believe Ms. Nava is working with Miss Hamilton, so there wasn't anything from
right.
Ada or me.
Got it.
So right, the rec was the 5 deferred with
veterans.
participation in Veterans Court. However, then he picked up this new offense.
Is this new offense something that will, like, does it absolutely bar him from being accepted into Veterans Court?
I don't believe so, Your Honor, no.
Here's the thing, if it was something that your client was inclined to accept and Veterans Court, you know, green lights it, let us know. You know, we'll transfer it over to the 346 and you all can get him into those services. But for now, the request on the bond reduction is denied.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you for your time. Thank you, Mr. Walker.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused at the county jail?
Yes, downtown. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
May I have
Judge.
excuses while, Your Honor?
Yes,
Judge
Mr.
downtown still has another one, I believe.
Oh, who?
Kevin Alejandre, is he downtown or annex?
That's the last one I show for our docket today as well.
You know what, he's probably at the annex because I don't see him on my list over here in county.
Annex, do you have Alejandre?
Yes, ma'am. We have Alejandro right now.
Very hard to hear. All right,
Judge,
Monday.
I think Leonardo, I'm sorry. I think he hired, oh, there he is. Okay.
Yes, so I'm gonna go ahead. Yes, I did get a call. I'm gonna go ahead and take over all his cases,
Perfect.
including the new ones.
Appreciate that, Mr. Nunez.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and this is Mr. Alejandre, is that right?
Yes.
Thank you. So downtown, that's all? Or did you have someone else? Did he have someone else? I think that's all for downtown. I'm gonna remove downtown. All right. Calling cause numbers 2018-0D0. Ay, Dios mío. 1050. 2018-0D00469. State of Texas versus Kevin Alejandre. May I have announcements, please?
William Dixon on behalf of the state of Texas, ready, Your Honor.
And Lorena Nunez on behalf of Mr. Alejandre.
And Mr. Alejandre is appearing remotely from the jail annex. We're scheduled for probation status hearings on both cases. Mr. Nunez, I do see you had entered on one, but you're saying you are entering on both cases?
Yes, on that, and I did enter in all the other cases as well, Your Honor.
Okay, so the new offenses. The two we have here, probation status. Mr. Loa, are you here on those?
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I'll take an update from you, although I think I did read the case summary.
Yes, Your Honor.
No, sorry, go ahead, sir.
No.
Go ahead, Mr. Loa.
Yeah, as Your Honor, as the court has been informed, we did file a BN due to the new 2 rearrest, in which that he did bond it out on May 2024. He paid a surety bond. After that, the bench warrant was issued and the motion to revoke was filed. Coming up to that, June and August of 2024, he did fail to report, even though we tried to regain supervision during that period of time. Follow-up BN was filed on September 3rd of 2024. And of course, on September the 26th, he did get arrested for the bench warrant issued by the court. and he has currently been in custody for 20 days, Your Honor.
Mhm.
Yes.
The recommendation here is that he be modified to participate in intensive supervision, substance abuse caseload, screened and qualifies. The problem I have, Mr. Nunez, is that, well, we had a long period, obviously, where he failed to report from 2018 to 2021. We give him a 2-year extension, 80 days ACOP, and then he fails to report June, July, and August of this year. And on the rearrest, and I think even on the rest on the bench warrant, there's a public intox, right? So we keep having all these, we have new cases, we have no reporting. I'm looking up here and there's in the case summary, he's testing positive for THC all the time. I don't recall if I looked up the 1622, if there's a mental health diagnosis here, but he tested positive October 22, September 23, February 24. He's been through TAP like 3 times. You know, I feel like we're spinning our wheels here. He completed TAP on April of 2024, and here we are again. So,
And that's very understandable, Judge. I will say though that he did make the effort to come into my office with relatives and all and try to resolve the issue. They did hire, it is a retained case. And he did move on it when he noticed that, you know, when he had that
warrant, like
about
his
art or well, and I do remember, Judge, I did go to court and I did let you guys know that I was taking over the case. And then I believe we tried to set it for a self-surrender, and I did talk to the court about or potentially sending it for that. It's just he got picked up before that. I think he's entitled to a bond if the court just wants to remove the warrant or let him out on bond and maybe let him report 2-3 times a week and see how he does on that, and then we can resolve the new cases. If not, then if the state has an offer they want to extend at this time, and if the court wants to let us know what they're willing to accept.
I'll take 2 TDC on Mr. Alejandre.
And that was the state's recommendation. I don't believe he's a good candidate to continue on probation with all the failures to report and everything else that's been discussed. He's already received a chance and he decided not to do it again.
Yeah.
Would the court entertain letting him out for the time being, Judge? And then I think, you know, after speaking to him, we had that come to Jesus moment. And I think that maybe we can help this individual out. I mean, he had a good job. He was doing well, and that's why he wasn't reporting for fear of, you know, losing his job. But the court would not entertain that.
No, sir. So I'll set you for a pre-revocation hearing in 30 days. The rec is 2 TDC. I'm not going to keep him on probation.
Can the clerk tell me how many days he has altogether on the cases?
Miss Rubio? They're both 2018s, but also.
Give me a minute.
Thank you, Judge. Judge, would the court entertain anything else besides jail time? Maybe some extra ACOP days, another 80, 100?
No, but let me see. I'm trying to go back through his jailings. I'm trying to just get an idea of what he has. I don't think he has that much, honestly. He's got like a couple of weeks here and there, you know. First jailing, it looks like 9 days, then 16 days, then he did the 80-day jail commitment, which frankly, I'd give him credit for.
Judge, on the case ending on 10/50, it's 127 days.
Okay.
And on the 180 ending in 0469, he has 132.
Mr. Nunez, but these aren't 3G offenses. He's out. Basically, he'll be time served and just have to be on parole.
I mean, that's up to the parole board, but we wouldn't know what they would do. Would you be open to revoking him to straight probation?
No. So there are the numbers. Like I said, we'll reset you for, if I said 2 weeks, we'll do 30 days. 30 days pre-revo. Okay,
All right, yes, ma'am.
thank you very much.
Thank
Is
you.
that everyone? Thank you, Mr. Ulloa.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
You may.
Have a
Likewise.
good evening. Thank you.
Take care.
Annex.
Thank you, Mr. Alejandre. Annex, is that everyone?
No, that's it.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dixon.
Thank you, Your Honor. Bye-bye.
Get off of YouTube.